Hello and welcome to Not Your Father's Sports Show. My name is Austin Short. I am your host and co-founder of Not Your Father's Sports Show. So earlier today, if you follow me on Snapchat at TheShortman or Instagram at BroestBroNameth, you would know that we were previewing a new segment that we were going to call Nail the Take. Basically, it's like Hollywood Squares meets Around the Horn, one-on-one debate style, and we would have two contestants, one judge. Well, the sports singer, Connor Goggin, he's scared, he's ran off, and he really just wasn't ready for all the hot take-attitude that was going to be coming at him. So he never showed up. Doesn't really surprise me, he's kind of a coward. And then our judge, he was going to make his debut on the show. His name's Evan Barrett. He also hasn't gotten a hold of me. I'm not sure if he's getting into some pre-4th of July festivities or what. But nevertheless, I am here for you guys, and I'm going to bring you a new segment called Clean Sneaker Sports Talk.
Austin and Kent, the boys are back again. Not like those kids on your television set, below show above the rest, 'cause it's time. Yeah! It's not your father's show! Woo! It's not your father's show! Yeah! It's not your father's show! Woo! It's not your father's show!
So first off, I'd like to start this episode just by thanking my good friends that have helped me out in creating some of the content of this show. So Vincie D and the Sensations, first of all, I'd just like to give a big shout out to them. They helped create the theme song, and they are also just dear friends of the program, so big shout out to Vincie D and the Sensations. Go check out their stuff. I'd also like to thank Evan, even though he's not here and totally ditched out on me. That's totally fine, whatever. But I would like to thank Evan for the logo and the branding and the banner that he gave Not Your Father's Sports Show. Really helped us out and made it look a lot better. So thank you guys. But enough with the pleasantries. We got to get into this segment, Clean Sneaker Sports Talk. Basically how it's going to go down is I'm going to introduce you to my small sneaker collection. Going to be cleaning my sneakers because honestly I've been meaning to do this for a while. And then while I'm cleaning them, I will be bringing up the latest and greatest sports news. So the first pair of sneakers that I'm going to bring out, as you can see, I'm rocking the 3 stripes on the shoulders, and boom, I'm also rocking them on my feet. These are the Adidas NMDs. Got these for Christmas from my parents. Thank you very much, Mom and Dad. They are a very awesome shoe, super comfy. I love the boost, very soft, very nice on the foot. So this is the first pair of shoes that I will be cleaning. First, we're going to start off with some instant shoe cleaner. You can find this stuff at Finish Line. Probably any place that really sells a lot of shoes. And so what we're going to do with the shoe cleaner, shake it up a little bit and apply generously. I'm really trying to get the boost clean, so that's the most important thing, and you kind of want it to soak in there, so you let it set for a bit. I'm not going to put it on the upper because it's mesh, and maybe the toe, because the toe's pretty dirty. So set that there. So our first sports topic, though, while I'm cleaning my shoes, I'm going to be giving you the sports news. And our first sports topic, I want to talk about this John McEnroe, Serena Williams feud. McEnroe last week went on NPR and was being interviewed about Serena Williams, and the reporter asked him why he would say that she is the greatest female player ever and not just the greatest player ever. And McEnroe bluntly said, well, if she played on the men's circuit, she would be ranked 700th and not number 1 overall in the world. And first of all, I'm not absolutely sure that is true, that she would be that far down the ranks, but McEnroe probably has a better idea of that than I do, being that he's a legendary tennis figure himself. I do want to say that I think Serena Williams is the best tennis player ever, and I think it's not fair to compare her to the men's players. You got to compare her to her peers. And her peers, the people that she's competing against, they're women. And her run of dominance, I know she's second all-time in Grand Slam titles, but you have to figure once she pops this baby out, she's going to go back to her winning ways and probably add a few more titles onto her resume, get that number 1 spot. And I just think that her run of dominance has been so strong that you can't really compare her to the men and say that she's not as good as them just because she doesn't hit as hard or because she isn't as fast. That's my take on the McEnroe-Williams thing. Do I think he's wrong technically just by saying that she's not as good as men? No, not really. But I think she could beat some men. I bet she could beat him too. There's something. Let's get them facing off. So I'm using a toothbrush right now on my shoes. Not the one that I use on my teeth, in case you were wondering. Never really used a toothbrush before on my shoes, but I had an extra one, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. And what you want to do is you kind of want to do it like you're brushing your teeth. Small circles. Get the grime off there. Oh, I'm seeing fantastic results already. This is exciting. Also in the news recently, Steph Curry just signed the biggest NBA contract in NBA history. It was a 5-year, $201 million deal. So the 2-time MVP can now claim that he is the highest paid player in all of the NBA. And really, can you blame the Warriors? I mean, Steph Curry is the one that created this culture that the Golden State Warriors embody now. The Warriors had no choice. They had to give Steph Curry this deal. He's been playing on a very cheap deal for the amount of production that he has given them. So I think this deal that Curry just received is very well earned. He deserved it completely. Without him, the Warriors aren't what they have been this year, which is the most dominant team that we've possibly ever seen in the NBA. If Curry's gone, Durant doesn't have the year he had with just Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and company, because Curry stretches the floor so well and puts so much stress on the defense to cover so much more ground than they're used to covering, that it gives Durant, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green and all those other guys so much more space. Also, I think Steph Curry's willingness to pass the ball and just be so unselfish with it is infectious, and I think that's part of the reason why that team is just so lethal. Moving on to the next pair of shoes. These right here, these beautiful, beautiful shoes, are my Air Jordan 13s, Gray Toes. Gray Toes. The silhouette was said to be inspired by a sports car. I forget if it was a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. One or the other, but I think they're dope. And don't really wear them too often because I don't know, they're white and beautiful, and I mean, why would I want to ruin that? But I did wear them a couple times outside. I've worn them playing basketball, a few times inside. So mainly at the base of the shoe, there's a little bit of grime to be taken off. So we will do that now. In other NBA news, the Oklahoma City Thunder pulled off a blockbuster deal by trading for Indiana Pacers superstar Paul George. Paul George has been rumored to want to go to the LA Lakers after his contract is up next season. So the Pacers decided to part ways with him. And they sent him to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Victor Oladipo and for Domantas Sabonis, son of the great Arvydas Sabonis. Obviously, it was a very one-sided trade. I mean, the Pacers, they did get some nice young prospects, but when you're giving up a talent that is as young and as talented as Paul George, it's very hard to win that sort of trade. It looked like they only had a year left with him, so at least get something rather than nothing. But you would think they would have got a pick at least, and the trade doesn't officially go through till July 7th when the NBA moratorium is lifted. But as of now, it looks like they didn't get a pick, just the two players. And that's got to be a little disappointing if you're a Pacers fan. Now, if you're a Thunder fan, ooh, you've got to be jacked right now because Russ finally has a second option to play with, not named Kevin Durant. But this time, Paul George, I think he knows that with the situation that he's going into, that he is truly going to be the second option. And so he'll know what to expect. I think Russ knows that this is his team. And they're, honestly, I mean, they've got a nice core going with Steven Adams and Enes Kanter. I think the Thunder are in pretty good shape going into next year. They still would need to add another wing scorer. There have been rumors of guys like Rudy Gay possibly joining the team, according to Enes Kanter. If you saw that on his Twitter, he had a Rudy Gay locker set up. Looked pretty legit, but I haven't heard anything about that since. You got guys like Dion Waiters out there, CJ Miles, Gerald Green. Plenty of names out there that the Thunder can pick up and fill out the rest of their roster with. These are looking fresh. Also, if you're interested in buying these, they're for sale for the right price, size 9.5. Get a hold of me. The next shoe that I'm going to be cleaning and showing you guys, the Air Jordan 6 Sports Blue. As you can tell, they're in pretty good condition. Haven't really worn them out much. I do love the look of the white shoes, and also another cool thing about these is that Jerry Seinfeld has a pair, and you can see him wearing them in Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, a very big sneakerhead. Probably didn't know that, but now you do. So anyways, this is another pair I'm actually trying to sell as well. These are size 8.5, which is a little bit snug for me. But I actually do really like the shoe. It's just with white shoes, so hard to wear outside and not feel like I'm like ruining them. So tomorrow is the 4th of July, the greatest holiday ever. Go America. But tomorrow is also the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in Coney Island, New York. And this year, Joey Jaws Chestnut, is looking to defend his title for the second year in a row. He's won 9 of the last 10. And he will be squaring off against Matt Megatoad Stoney. That's his nickname, Megatoad. He was the champion in 2015, and at the time he broke Joey Chestnut's streak of 8 consecutive mustard belts, as they're called. Honestly though, I love the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I mean, where else are you going to see a guy choke down 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes? You just don't get that kind of eating achievement on any normal day. Only on the 4th could we celebrate that much caloric intake. I don't want you guys to think that all I wear is Jordans, but lo and behold, here's another pair of Jordans for you. These are the Air Jordan 5 Bel Airs. And as you can see from the colorway, the purple and the neon green, pink, I said purple already, but it's on there, so I'm not lying when I say it twice. This shoe is inspired by the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It kind of takes on the colorway of the branding that show had, the neon colors. And this is probably the Jordan that I've worn the most, besides maybe one other pair, which you will probably see in a different episode. But I've worn these like hiking, worn these playing basketball, outside, inside, worn these just walking around the mall. This pair has seen better days, but it is one of my favorite pairs because it's a pretty rare pair. I've never personally seen anybody with these. And also, I mean, it's just a dope colorway and an ode to Will Smith and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, so what's not to like, really? In more NBA news, the Toronto Raptors decided to bring back their core by re-signing Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka to pair up with DeMar DeRozan and company in the Six. It's easy to question, what are the Toronto Raptors doing though? I mean, they haven't been able to get over the hump in the Eastern Conference, and you bring back a guy like Serge Ibaka that is 27 years old. May not sound that old, but it's getting up there. And there have been rumors that his age is actually older than it is because he's from the Congo. But he came out and refuted those, and he said that basically he was not born in a jungle. He knows how old he is. Stop asking that damn question. And then there's Kyle Lowry. He's 31. So he's getting up there as well, and he hasn't been the most durable player. But then again, you look at the Eastern Conference, and it is going to be historically weak this year. Well, there's Paul Millsap. He left for the Denver Nuggets, so there's an Eastern Conference All Star that's leaving. You got Paul George was traded. We talked about that already. There's another All Star gone. And Jimmy Butler was traded from the Bulls. So there's 3 All-Stars right there that have been moved so far during this offseason. And so in the Eastern Conference, the race for second is wide open at least. I mean, everybody is chasing the Cleveland Cavs, but even I think they showed some vulnerability last year during the regular season. They cruised in the playoffs, but I mean, they're not getting any younger either. They just re-signed Kyle Korver, who did absolutely nothing in the playoffs, and I don't understand that signing. But I think that it is smart for the Raptors to bring this core back. They obviously made it to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, and so bringing this group back, they're going to have another chance to take on the Cavs possibly in a weaker Eastern Conference. Now, I'm going to do something that will not happen very often, so cherish this moment, baseball fans, because we're talking baseball. MLB All Star Game rosters were finally released, and mainly there weren't any huge surprises according to what I've read. But I have a couple people that I think deserved to be in Miami representing their teams. My first candidate, I'm going to stick with the Tigers, and hear me out, guys. I know he doesn't play all the time, but Alex Avila is quietly having a pretty strong year for the Tigers as their catcher. I know he's splitting time with McCann, but he's got a .315 batting average with 11 homers and 28 RBIs. Pretty solid. Hey, maybe I just want to see a Tiger there, you know? My other candidate for All-Star Game snub is Miami Marlins catcher JT Realmuto. Realmuto plays for the hometown team, the Miami Marlins. The All-Star Game is in Miami, and he's having a pretty solid year. He's hitting .289 compared to Molina's .273, and his on-base percentage is also a bit higher than Molina's. Not a huge difference, and I know Molina has the track record. He's been there, I think, 8-time All-Star selection. But give a little love to the hometown guy and get him in the game where he can play in front of his hometown fans. Well, this has been the first installment of Sneaker Clean Sports Talk. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to the page. We will have Nail the Take coming for you guys soon once we can coordinate all of that. And also, be on the lookout for a 4th of July vlog. I'm going golfing with my hometown friends and co-founder Kent Maybank, along with Trent Keenan and Blaine Daly. So we'll be sure to be talking some sports out on the links, having some drinks. Stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys. Also, check out the Sports Singer, the video before this one. It's a much funnier video than this one. This one was more informational, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in.